Hi, I'm Joan Woodward, president of the Travelers Institute. The Travelers Institute was proud to partner with the New York Stock Exchange in July 2012 to host another in our series of Small Business Big Opportunity, a series dedicated to exploring and helping small business owners grow their business, create jobs, get access to capital, and reduce regulatory burdens on their business so they can foster and bring about more economic growth in society. The New York Stock Exchange event was one in a long series that we've been doing around the country, and as one of the largest insurers of small business in the country, we really do feel a responsibility and excited about helping small business owners thrive.
How do we understand and appreciate more than we do that small businesses are the backbone of the country, and yet Main Street businesses across the country are really struggling? They're starved for capital in many cases. They're starved for opportunities to grow.
So my father comes out of the service in 1945, and there are now 4 generations of Fishmans living in one 2-bedroom apartment in the Bronx, and my father decides to start up a tiny small printing business. I'm the beneficiary of the success that came from that business. It was enough, as I'm fond to quote, to pay the rent and to educate his kids. We're the first generation in my family to go to college, and it was really all from the efforts of that tiny business. I feel a personal interest in being engaged, of speaking up for the opportunity that exists, the opportunity for the less educated, the opportunity for the hardworking and committed but not silver spoon group. We think that there is a responsibility that comes with success to be engaged in the public debate, to offer ideas and thoughts, to be forthcoming. 2
out of every 3 net new jobs are created by small business. So when we talk about these job creation engines, this is really at the core of the economy. For the moment, banks are primarily the funders of small businesses, and in 2008, at the end, they weren't lending.
It's very hard. People have a great idea, but it's hard to get out of the gate. And often if you trip coming out of the gate, it's hard to ever recover. And so getting that initial start is very, very important. And so the mayor recognized this as well and recently formed something called the New Business Acceleration Team, or NBAT. And their job is to really help on businesses get open.
You've been hugely successful. So how do you think about access to capital for small businesses?
I think it started out exactly as a lot of people, where you spend everything you're not supposed to, your 401k, you don't draw a salary, you get it to where it starts to make money, and you learn it's really hard to make and it's really easy to spend. And so I'm not a big believer in over borrowing.
Most important, who is your customer? That's a really important thing to define and think about. Think about why you, as an individual, why your team, what experience, why here and why now. So before you even get to putting a financial plan on paper, thinking through and articulating those things, because that's the articulation of your vision. Then you put together a really detailed financial roadmap for yourself. What are the costs? What are my milestones for success? Ultimately, what's the cash flow? That's the mother's milk you need to get there. And what's your future profitability? And then break that down so that you're taking some measured milestones and risks.
So in that vein, I just had, one piece of advice is, and everyone has in this room, optimism and, really a can-do attitude that you can build this company, you're going to get the customers and they'll stay with you, and the banks are going to trust you, and just having that attitude of can-do.